bro, like at some point you got to give Punk a win. Like seriously, otherwise, like he's just going to be labeled the guy who's always going to lose the big one. I mean,
Drew was last year.
Yeah, man. At some point, you got to pay that off, man.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone. It was Vince Russo for another episode of none other than Vince Russo.
What's up, Doctor?
How you doing, man?
I'm very tired. I'm sure you are too. I've been podcasting since about 7:30 this morning. It is now 8 o'clock. So it's been a long day.
Jeez, man. Yikes. I got something for you.
What do you got?
I got something for you.
What do you got?
And I got some fun.
And we'll have fun. Now that daddy took a T-bird away. Fun. Now that daddy
T-bird away. Yes, absolutely. So we've got our first ever 2-night SummerSlam festivities, man. If one night wasn't enough, and to many people, it was enough. But ladies and gentlemen, we've got another night for you for more ticket prices and more festivities and more entrants and more non-match time to throw in there for television, for your television pleasure, Vince. And so we've got a 2-nighter. And so far, we've got a bundle of matches that we are going to give some predictions about. All right, so let's start off with Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. Vince, this has been a this has been a storyline built on, hey, we've got Saudi. No, just playing. We don't have Saudi. We're going to save it for a few weeks while we got a bunch of these going on, and then we're going to save them. We're going to save this to SummerSlam. Do you think the eyes are watching you gimmick is going to pay off for AJ Styles and he's going to be Intercontinental Champion?
Absolutely not. There's no way they're going to take the belt off of Dom. There's no way they should take the belt off Dom. He's got all kinds of outside interference to help him go over. So I think this is pretty clear.
Yeah. What do you think they want out of this? Just a really good match, and this is awesome?
This is a good match. This is awesome, and they think it gives Dom a big win over a veteran.
Yeah. Dominic's Intercontinental Championship run so far, what would you grade it?
God, bro, who is he defended against?
Oof, that's a good question. Penta, I think. Yeah. That's a good question. I know he did against Penta, and I think he did like a multi-person match too. Since he's won, he won at WrestleMania, right?
I think so. Yeah.
There was a multi-person match, and he won at WrestleMania. Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And that's when the fans were, they went berserk and all that jazz. So. Yeah, I don't think he's really done a bunch of matches since winning. He had let me look. I'll find it. That's a good question. I do want to find out who he's won against.
Yeah, I'm very
since
curious.
He's won the. Yeah. Who he's defended the title? I know it was Penta, and I knew it was a multi-person match. All right, so he won the match at WrestleMania. And that was in April, right? And so he won. And so since then, television matches, he won it April 20th. Since then, he has had 4 matches in the past 3 months. He defeated Penta twice. He defeated Penta at the Raw after He defeated Penta at Backlash. He defeated Octagon Jr. at Money in the Bank, and
who's Octagon Jr.?
There was a AAA thing that they had with the Worlds Collide, and Octagon cut a promo, and then led over to Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Okay.
That led over to Money in the Bank from the Worlds Collide thing, and so from AAA, and then on Raw on June 9th, he lost in he beat Braun Breaker. Sami Zayn beat Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, and Penta for the King of the Ring first round match. That was a 4-way match. So he's defeated it. He's defended the title 3 times in 3 months, and he's been in 4 matches since WrestleMania. Period. Completely 4 matches.
And that was April, May, June, July, 3 months. Okay.
Yeah. So 3 months, 4 matches in 3 months. He's defended the title 3 times in 3 months. And so, so hasn't defended the title since June the 7th. So about
6 weeks.
So about a month and a half. Yeah. So he's been a month and a half since he's defended it. Yeah. So yeah, I think you got to keep it on him, man. I think you got to. Yeah. He's made very little to arguably no steam as being champ for over 3 months now, and you gotta, if you want to make that moment special at WrestleMania, make it special, man. I don't think that they've done really anything of note to make that moment elevate his career. He just feels like he's just holding a championship, and he's the exact same Dominic Mysterio as he was before he won the title at WrestleMania.
Absolutely. And we talk about that all the time. We talk about so many times they put the belt on people and there is no elevation whatsoever when the belt is on them. I think this is a perfect case.
Absolutely. Yep. Let's go to the triple threat. Let's go to Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus the women's world champion Naomi. Do you do a quick change already?
Yeah.
Or do you have somebody win the match because they're going to go against Stephanie Vaquer in Paris? So who's going to be the person who goes against
You got to keep that belt on Naomi, man. You can't flip that out so quickly. She just cashed it in at the last pay-per-view. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think you got to save it for a bigger story. I think you still got the Jade and Bianca thing that really didn't have a payoff to that. It would make sense if Bianca came to Raw and it'd be Bianca versus Naomi and a bigger stage. I mean, why not keep it on Naomi? I mean, if there's one women's wrestler that has made a really talk about. It's been 8 years since he's won the title, and redefine and just kind of reestablishing herself as a top star. She's always been in the middle. She tagged with Sasha Banks that helped her a bit, but she's always been that middle ground person. And I think that she's done a really good job just completely rehauling herself. I would call her the Liv Morgan of 2025. I think. Yeah,
I would agree to that. She's done a good job, and there's no reason whatsoever to take it off.
I agree. I think Liv Morgan was the MVP in the women's division in 2024. I would give that to Naomi in 2025 based on her character overhaul and what she's done. She's done a great job, and I love the fact that she cuts promos as a heel. She steps on pops all the time. I love seeing heels do that. Someone's just kind of eating pops and just kind of sitting there for the cheers when they're heels. I'm like, nah, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of, bro, and I've never, ever, ever been a fan of. Bro, there was only one person, in my opinion, in the history of professional wrestling who got away with a fake laugh. I've never been a fan of the fake laugh. Naomi's been doing that. Who's the one guy? One guy was able to get away with a fake laugh because it was so great.
Ted DiBiase.
Bingo! Yeah, you see, bro? I mean, that was so good and so over the top. But when anybody else does it, it's like, guys, cut out the fake laugh, man.
But that's what I like, though, Vince, because she doesn't want you to like it. And I think the very fact that you're annoyed by it, I think it helps her case as a heel. Like
I'm glad you said that, Chris, because I'm going to start looking at it that way. I'll start looking at it that way. Yes. Yeah. But DiBiase's laugh was the absolute.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Let's get into Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. This is a kind of a wild card match, Vince, as far as just who can win. Do you keep the belt on Tiffany? She's had a very lackluster run from what's been going on since she's won the championship. And you have Jade Cargill, who's in an interesting position. They had this big angle going on with her and Bianca and Naomi, specifically her and Naomi. Then you just kind of split them and switch them over to different brands, and now they're in different angles just weeks before SummerSlam. There's no really big payoff to that. What do you think they do with Tiffany or Jade? I think both of them at this point are very hot and top prospects for kind of being the faces of the women's division in the future. Both of them have that ability to do that. Who do you give it to, Vince?
I think Jade needs it more than Tiffy. I don't think she needs it. I don't think she needs the title at all. She's good. She's getting her characters down. We talk about, I think her promos need a lot of work, but you've kind of ascended Jade. And if you don't pay it off, man, I can see that coming right back down. And that's why I think you need to pay that off. I think Tiffany will be fine without the title.
I agree with you. I think that Tiffany, it makes sense that they transition her over to a babyface because she was just getting cheers. That was the fans doing. The fans loved her when she was trying to be a heel and trying to be smug and cocky. The fans loved her for some reason. The fans aren't too big on her as much now as a babyface. It does feel kind of plateaued. It does feel like that momentum is plateaued as a babyface. I'll be fine with Jade defeating Tiffany. Tiffany congratulating Jade. Jade turns around and Tiffany, boom, just clocks her, gives her a forearm smash, and that gives you another month or two, for an angle. I mean, that would be totally fine with me for Tiffany, turning heel. I'm fine with that. Yeah. Let's go the tag match. I think this is pretty. I'm going to throw this. I'm going to give you a challenge. I'm going to give you some a mental challenge here, Vince. If I told you, if I was under Vince McMahon as some type of leader, like of the head writers, I was the person who kind of gave orders for something to have to happen when it comes to being a writer. And I told you, Vince, I know that Roman's back. I know that Roman and Jay are just clear-cut favorites to beat Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, but I want to throw a wrench in there to extend the feud. Vince, I need you to somehow make Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed go over here. How would you do that?
You need to add somebody.
Okay.
That's how you need to do it. You need to add somebody. I swear to God, bro, if it were me, who I would choose.
Yeah. Karrion Kross.
Absolutely. You would need to add somebody that would get a big pop, and that would make sense in the heels going over. That's what I would do.
Do you think Karrion has enough steam in him right now to lead?
I think so. I really do. I think so. Yep.
It'll be hard, man, because the what was his other?
Well, that was horrible. What was
I forgot his stable name.
I don't even remember, bro. I don't even.
Oh my god!
Final something.
Final Testament. Final Testament. Yeah. Final Testament. Yeah. That was a flop. That was a major flop. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's like, do you give off Final Testament vibes if he just leads another stable?
Yeah, but bro, isn't that all on the writing, though, Chris?
It's always on the writing.
Yeah.
He had the character in Final Testament, though. You know what I mean? He's always had it. He
Yeah.
just, the way that they booked the Final Testament was very lackluster.
Yeah.
This Heyman Rollins group hasn't been booked very strongly either, as far as just them elevating. Again, we go back to this. The theme is elevation. That's the theme of this conversation. Have Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed been more elevated than before they joined the faction? I would argue no, because Braun was, he was a baby face and he was on a really good run. I mean, he was doing some heel work too, but he was on a really good run, being Intercontinental Champion twice and really getting some momentum, starting to get cheered. Now he just kind of feels kind of subdued, with this group. And then Bronson Reed was tsunamiing people, multiple times, and putting Seth out and putting Truth out and doing and really making a name for himself. Now he's just some, bodyguard for Heyman now. I mean, like, neither of them to me have elevated their stock by joining the Heyman stable. So it'll be hard for Cross to come in there and do something different as far as elevation.
Bro, I swear to God, what would make it really, really interesting is we find out that Cross gets involved. Cross helps them win, but we don't exactly know why.
Okay.
And then we find out that Heyman made a deal with Cross. You help us out, and your gift in return will be the Money in the Bank case. Because now you've got trouble in the ranks. Like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? Now Cross can kind of take over as the leader of the group. There's just a lot of things you can really, really do with that,
I like that. That would be really interesting, because that could be an interesting, because that's not, prayerfully Seth's, return is within the year, but at the same time, that doesn't cause the Money in the Bank to expire without a plan B. Yeah. And I think that would be a really, really good plan B. Of course, if Seth doesn't come back within a year and he re-aggravates his injury, for instance, now you have Karrion Kross with the case that he can, cash in before the summertime, before, the expiration. But if Seth comes back and he's ready to rock, then you have dissension between Kross and Seth.
Right. And if you don't do nothing and just have freaking Heyman walking around clutching that briefcase, it's a massive, massive waste.
Yeah. And now they put stakes on the case, because you could easily have Kross and Seth go against each other for the case, and then you can have Braun and Bronson help Seth win the case back. Boom, there's your ascension of Kross being one of the biggest baby faces on the roster right now.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Let's do CM Punk and Gunther. This this match just kind of came from, again, just a couple of weeks, and just let's throw them two together. And CM Punk wins a match to become number one contender, and now he's going against Gunther. I would say similar to Dominic and AJ, do you think that this is a similar match, but on the more, elevated level, or do you think they actually give the belt to Punk?
Bro, I think this is very, very different for a couple of reasons, because I think, number one, they're looking at it like, okay, we just elevated Gunther by giving him a big win over Goldberg. That's what they're looking at. Bro, like, at some point, you got to give Punk a win. Like, seriously. Otherwise, like, he's just going to be labeled the guy who's always going to lose the big one. I mean,
Drew was last year.
Yeah, man. At some point, you got to pay that off, man.
Yeah. I think my thing with Punk is, he's been notorious for being injury prone. Do we give him the belt, and do we strap the Rockets on him to lead Raw, and for how long? He definitely has the fan base that goes without saying. So him being champion will be beloved by the fans. Everybody will love it. But my question to you, Vince, is okay, CM Punk wins the championship, beats Gunther. Two things. One, why are they doing this at the expense of Gunther? Because the biggest one you want to invest in right now between Punk and Gunther is absolutely Gunther. And Gunther should build himself up as a strong entity to put that guy over as a babyface to be that face of the company. Is CM Punk, like, you're building up Gunther as a heel, get that big rub against Goldberg just to give it over to CM Punk? Is CM Punk the guy for that? And then my second thing is, like, one, at the expense of Gunther, and then two, what's next for CM Punk if he does win the championship, in your opinion?
Unless they think they can get something out of Punk and McIntyre with Punk having the title.
Okay. And they run that back.
Yeah, I just don't know, bro. Let me ask you this. Let me go the other way. Say they keep the title on Gunther. Mm-hmm. Then what do you do with Punk?
I think Punk has enough cachet to, similar to the Punk Drew feud, Punk has enough stock and cachet to have a huge feud without having the title. Just with anybody, but I still say this though. I still think, and I'm still going to say this, I still think that CM Punk should be a corporate shill. I think that we haven't seen that. Yeah. We need that, man. I think we need that. We've had all this pandering, all this obnoxious pandering. It would be so much heat. You talk about the pendulum effect. He's way over here with the pandering and the obnoxious, catering to the crowd. It would give him so much heat if he becomes a corporate shill. And I think doing that for him would be revolutionary as far as just reestablishing or just adding stock to his character. That's
I agree with that. Yep.
Let's end it with Cody Rhodes and John Cena.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. So let me make this very short and sweet, Vince. Here's my question to you. Do we see the double turn?
Yes.
All right, tell me why.
I think we see a double turn, and after the double turn, I think we see an entire reset.
Okay, tell me how that's going to work.
Same way Brett and Austin worked.
So no Rock?
Bro, if Rock shows up without them promoting it, like, come on, like, really, bro? Like, I think that would be so stupid on their part, man. If The Rock is going to be on your show, you've got to promote it.
Is there any room for a surprise element nowadays in pro wrestling?
I don't know, bro, because I don't know what the surprise element really does. I mean, Chris, unless Rock is going to come back on a full-time basis, is it really going to change the people that watch the show?
Unless you do have the element of surprise with The Rock. He comes back, like I said before. He's kind of making it seem like he's back to help his boy Cena. And then you have Cena give The Rock the nod. He's already done an FU. Cody's kicked out. Cena's like wondering what the heck is going on. The Rock comes out. He gives the nod to Cena to finish him, the gimmick that he did before. Cena turns around. Boom. Cody kicks him in the nads, similar to what John Cena did. And then he does a couple of crossroads. And then Rock comes in. And then Rock and Cody. That, to me, that wouldn't cause a lot. That wouldn't really cause The Rock to be there afterwards. I do think that you could and you should have Cody on the next SmackDown explain why The Rock, him and The Rock.
See, that's the thing, bro. Like when I think about that, my biggest issue with that is, bro, what sense does that make? I mean, Cena hasn't
You
done
got to get yourself
anything.
out of it, period, though, because it hasn't made sense in the past
I don't
5
know,
years.
but because Cena hasn't done, if Cena has done something
Right.
to cause Rock to do that,
Yeah.
but Cena's been a straightaway heel the whole entire time.
Yeah.
So what would make Rock do that? Oh, I wanted Cody all along. Like,
They'll probably do that. You know what I mean? Which I think it'd be interesting because you could have like a SummerSlam type of deal too, because you can have Triple H and The Rock go at odds because Triple H won it this way, The Rock won it this way. And I think that would cause a really interesting stakes to be involved into the the 2-team SummerSlam match. If you had Team Rock versus Team Triple H, because of bring that reality there. Triple H saying, hey, I wanted Cody to be heel, John Cena to be heel. The Rock says, no, I wanted Cody to be heel. I got what I wanted. And then you have John Cena as a babyface leading the way, to represent Triple H because Triple H wanted, him to be the champion anyway. So I think that you could do something like that.
yeah, but Chris, there's no way they're thinking on that level, bro.
Yeah,
Like
but they do watch our shows.
Yeah,
So,
and hey, man, Trips has one last one left in him, man.
He's got one last one left on him, baby. He's got one last one. I don't think he will compete, but I do think he'll be at ringside with The Rock. Triple H as a manager and The Rock as a manager. That would be interesting to see for a Survivor Series. So, this guy right here is Vince Russo. I am Dr. Chris. This is Riding with Russo. Have a good night, everybody. Solo.